Here we are in a non-confrontational video, not taking digs at the fanbase, just talking about how I see this game undergoing potential changes. When I talk about how I'd like ULTRAKILL to change parts of its design, it's not because I hate it. I don't hate ULTRAKILL, I like ULTRAKILL. I started to like ULTRAKILL over a year ago when I forced myself to start trying to beat levels quickly, which led to more weapon variety and high style rankings. So let me make that clear, I'm not calling ULTRAKILL bad, I enjoy it for the most part, especially Act 2. If you've heard my criticisms, you know that my main problem is the balance of Act 1 and how the game poorly sets up new players to play stylishly, which then poorly sets you up for the difficulty spikes. It's not about me anymore, I already know how to generally play ULTRAKILL, it's about new players. One of my suggestions was that the style meter should be tied to health regeneration, which it is now, awesome. One of my suggestions was having the style meter regenerate infinite ammo, not give it to you by default. That suggestion has been firmly rejected, and that's okay. But I will elaborate on that for a minute. I don't want to take infinite ammo out of the game. I just think earning infinite ammo through the style meter would be more interesting, and something for new players to work towards as they're learning, even if it's just an optional game mode. But I get it, having an ammo limit of any kind is too Doom, and we all know that Doom is the only shooter with an ammo limit. So I thought I'd make some other suggestions for how I'd rebalance ULTRAKILL to better educate new players on how to kill with style. Cause look, I guarantee I'm not the only person who went into this game the first time, saw how easy it was to just hop around in circles and mindlessly mash pistol and spam charge shot. I'm aware of the large ULTRAKILL community out there, but you guys gotta realize you don't hear from the players that quit. You don't hear from the people who come to your game from recommendation or curiosity, play for a couple hours and say, I don't get it, what's so special about this, and then uninstall. If the game better showed off how fun it can be, your community would be larger, you'd have more people recommending it, sales would be higher, etc. While I do think that regenerating ammo through the style meter would be a good way of encouraging new players to experiment more, there's other ways we can do this. The first is to address the starting weapon issue, the piercer, the charge shot. This gun is not OP, it's just way too powerful to put in the hands of someone learning the game and looking for a good fight. You could switch it out for the coin pistol, which is a lot harder to abuse if you're just learning the game. Not being good at it would make the earlier levels more challenging as a result, and players would be trying to learn this weapon's use much earlier because shooting coins is their only real source of damage. Maybe they would discover how to reflect a coin against a malicious face in the early levels. By using the coin shot, they're learning something stylish right away instead of a really easy to use, easy to abuse exploding rail cannon shot. This would put a little more pressure on learning the projectile parry, which right now is so easy to ignore and just plain forget about for a long time. Take away the piercer, and now parrying projectiles feels like a more powerful option to take advantage of. On top of that, since players would have to unlock it, increase the cost of the Piercer weapon mod so that players don't unlock it so fast. Make them stick with the coins until they find the shotgun, and for a while after that. Why? Because look, you don't have to share my experience to understand it. But my experience was, after 2 levels of exploding groups of enemies with easy pistol charge shots, I thought, oh, a shotgun. It blows up groups of enemies and does a lot of damage. Well, that's what the charge shot is already doing, effectively, at close or long range, and I'm already used to it, so I'm not very excited by this. It kind of feels redundant. I'm not saying that the piercer and the shotgun ultimately do occupy the same role in combat. I'm saying that when they are first presented, they do, because of the piercer's power and simplicity. They have very similar uses, and that can make it seem like there's no reason to use something new as long as the old thing still works just fine and basically does the same thing. Good players know how to use these weapons accordingly, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about how the game communicates its systems to new players. If players were confined to the coin shot up until this point, the shotgun's role in combat would stand out more. You're already getting the hang of the coin shots for good focused damage, and now you've got crowd control and explosives with the shotgun. I guarantee you, my first playthrough I would not have depended on Piercer the whole time if I had started this way. Or how about weapon cooldowns? Maybe the Piercer and other mods have slower cooldowns in general, to push you into using other weapons while they're recovering. Turbo Overkill implemented this system and it's wonderful. It doesn't have to be as extreme, it's just an example. And then, since ULTRAKILL is about style, you shrink those cooldowns as the style meter increases, eventually unlocking crazy stuff like near infinite coin tosses once you're at the highest rank. Or you know what, maybe don't change anything and just make the combat encounters a lot more intense in Act 1. These are just some ideas, let me know which ones you love or hate, give me your own, tell me nothing should change, have at it boys. Cause in the end, I don't want to change ULTRAKILL into something the fanbase can't still enjoy the way they enjoy it. If you think my suggestions do that, then you're welcome to say so. But really, I just want the game to better showcase what you guys already like about it, to get more people into the mentality needed to enjoy it the way you do. Thanks for watching. By the way, yes, I know about the Mayo % speedruns, it's an honor, you guys.